Today I'll take official LEGO Super Mario characters and recreate them as custom LEGO minifigures. And along the way, I'll build them different levels to save the princesses. Let the challenge begin. Okay, so LEGO made almost every Super Mario character. So why do we need to create new ones? Well, in case you didn't know, LEGO's Mario looks like he eats Minecraft blocks for breakfast. Plus he doesn't even fit into regular cars. So let's create custom Super Mario minifigures. And the first character we'll unlock is Luigi. And for Luigi, we need blue legs and a green torso. But the head is where we're already cooked. In my collection, I have a ton of head molds, but none of them look like Luigi. So my plan B is to go to my 3D printer and print the model. And when I'm on it, I'll also print and prepare the models for all the upcoming characters in this video. Because we also want to create Rosalina, Yoshi, Bowser Jr. and many more. But let's continue with Luigi. Our next step is to create a sketch with a pencil. This sketch isn't necessary, but I find it very helpful because as soon as we start painting the torso, we can paint with much more confidence because we don't make mistakes. Damn it! I have to erase the base layer again. These sections remain green. I'll also take some brown to create shoes, and I'll use yellow for the knobs. For the head, I'll create a small construction so I won't accidentally touch the wet acryl color every 2 seconds. I always try to work in layers. When I start with a color such as green for the head, I paint everything that is green in one go. Then I move on to the next color. And can anyone tell me why Luigi has brown hair but a black mustache? The final and smallest detail are the eyes, and Luigi is finished. For Mario, I'll use a red base, a custom head, and then copy-paste Luigi's design on his body and his head. The only difference is that Mario has medium legs and no neck. And now that we've unlocked our first 2 characters, they can compete in their first level. I built them a monster truck. Because Mario now fits into a normal car. And what's a monster truck good for? Right, to make huge jumps. So in their first level, they have to make this jump, like all the way to the end of the table and take down Bowser. And to make things more interesting, I'll fill the gap with 10 different cars and vehicles over which our monster truck has to jump in order to defeat Bowser. Oh. They successfully defeated Bowser. This means they completed their first level and can now move on to the second. But why are they risking their lives in such dangerous levels? Right, to save Princess Peach from Bowser. But wait a minute! I wouldn't want to save a girl that looks like a bunch of wool blocks. So we'll create a worthy Peach using a Friends minifigure as a base. But a basic Friends minifigure is still inaccurate. We need one with a dress like Glinda has one. The butterflies can be opened up with a wedding cake and a bear, but we're here for Glinda because she has the perfect outfit, and paired with our 3D model of Peach's hair, we created the perfect base. The rest of the set we no longer need. For Peach, we need to prepare the models by covering every necessary section with a white base layer. This is key if you want clean colors later on. For the more delicate areas, I'll switch to a super thin brush. It would be nearly impossible to paint the blue earrings or the rubies otherwise. Her dress, on the other hand, is very straightforward. It's almost entirely bright pink. The hardest part here is the blue gem on her chest. But if we compare Princess Peach to a reference image, we're far from done. The actual hardest part is coming now. I'll erase the current face expression. Now let's copy that intricate and tricky face design that either makes or breaks our princess. But when we compare Princess Peach to a reference image, I'd say we did a decent job. Definitely better than our stack of pink wool blocks. And now Bowser can capture her. He loads her onto his airship and flies straight out of the house. He transports her over the entire field and all the way up into this tree. And the only way for us to take him down is to hit this rotating target. So we need to unlock our sniper to help us in our rescue mission. I say sniper because Yoshi is like a sniper with his tongue. And because I added this thin plate with 2 holes to his tail, we can easily attach the piece to the legs of our minifigure. Now Yoshi takes some shape. Unfortunately, LEGO doesn't make medium legs in medium green. But that won't stop us. We'll take the legs and paint them. But if we simply paint them, we'll scratch off the paint the minute we move the legs. So before we paint the legs, we'll take the hips and sand away on the inside using a Dremel. Now we have a small gap between the legs and the hips, and all the paint we add will no longer be scratched off. The head I'll first cover in a white base layer, and as soon as the base layer is done, we can start with the main color. And now you might ask yourselves why my models always look trash when I start painting, but when I finish, they look so clean. It's because I always add more than 1 layer of the same color. I'll now paint the spikes orange. The final step is to paint the eyes. First up, I'll paint them black, and then I'll add a white light reflection. I also painted the tail. This means that all the parts are ready to assemble, but when you compare Yoshi to a reference reference image, you realize that he has that white stripe on his body. So we'll also quickly add that one. Now Yoshi can come back to rescue Peach, but because he's only a minifigure, I'll help him with his Nerf gun. First try. And look at all this destruction. Bowser completely disintegrated. In the movie, he gets shrunken down to a bug size after his defeat. The problem is that LEGO only created a giant Bowser and a normal sized Bowser, but no tiny Bowser that got defeated by our team. The smallest characters LEGO produces are this golden dragon, a baby, and this toy minifigure. But I think you agree that they look nothing like Bowser. So I decided to 3D print a super small Bowser. To our giant Bowser, his tiny self is a pesky fly, much like Mario and Luigi. Let's paint this Bowser. First up is the white base layer. Step 2 is the colors. Honestly, I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, dang are these details small. Just compare my thumb to the model. I gotta use a brush with the size extra super mega hyper tiny. But no task is too difficult for us. And just like that, we now have a Bowser that is smaller than a baby. He can even be held by Mario, just like in the movie. No! But now that Bowser got defeated, we completed our second level. This means we need a new villain for our third level. And what about Bowser Jr.? Well, the official version is way too blocky. This means we need medium legs, but in yellow. And because I didn't own them, I bought myself a 4+ set. The set comes with 3 submarines from the Spider-Man universe. We can place them in water so they can explore the depths of the sea. Oh, I gotta be quick. We still need the legs of Dogok. Sorry boys, but I don't need you. Now that we have medium legs, we can add a yellow torso and our 3D head mold. I also 3D printed him a shell piece we can attach to the legs. This time, it's pretty simple to paint the minifigure. We can make a sketch of the breastplate and then retrace this sketch with black acryl color. The sections in between we'll first cover in a white base layer before we paint them in a skin tone color. We'll also add 3 claws on each toe and black rings on his arms. And we're already done with the torso. The head will cover entirely in white. Step 2 is to paint all the necessary sections of his head in a skin tone. If possible, I always try to go from the brightest color to the darkest. This way I can paint over the brighter colors if I make mistakes. And I gotta say, Bowser Jr. is one of the easiest characters so far. Now let's compare him to a reference image. Oh my brick! I forgot his napkin. For this one, I have to erase parts of the shell before I can start with the actual design. Talking about the simplest character, this one is the hardest so far. I mean, we have to paint a literal monster mouth on a napkin. But finally, we have an accurate Bowser Jr. But Bowser Jr. also wants to capture a princess just like his dad. Make me proud, son! And because Bowser Jr. wants to capture Rosalina, I once again need a Friends minifigure. And I once again need a skirt. This means we can use Madame Morrible after all. For Rosalina, I also 3D printed the hair. It has a tiny crown and earrings that are shaped like stars. But because Rosalina is all bright blue, I'll first cover all the necessary parts in white before I paint all of them in bright blue. The final touch is the star on her chest. I also painted the hair and the face according to the reference image. But she's also holding a magic wand. Lucky us, we can go to a local store and buy the princess from the latest CMF series. We don't even need to use the official one because we get a spare one. And in our locker, we have unlocked our second princess. But a second princess also means a second capture. So we'll spawn Bowser Jr.'s wannabe Death Star. Don't worry, we'll also fix Magic Bowser Jr. But now, his base version can capture Rosalina and lock her up in his prison. Also, Bowser Jr. decides to make a quick exit. But he goes much further than his father. He escapes all the way to the foot of this mountain. This time, we need to pilot a paraglider and hit the flying fortress out of thin air. And for the rescue mission, we need to unlock a captain to help us pilot the paraglider. I'll use a Jedi Padawan as a base, but we're gonna wipe away his face expression. Instead, I'll add 2 black eyes and an extremely big mouth. But look at this! I gotta erase the eyes again, because they are too close together. The final step is to add the light reflections and the red tongue. Now I'll take apart the minifigure entirely, because we gotta erase the Jedi robes with some nail polisher. Step 2 is to attach his 3D mushroom head. Send. Nobody saw this. The head always fit, which means we can paint the entire minifigure. Captain Toad is one of the simpler characters, but he's also not the most powerful. So I think his design perfectly matches his skill level. He has a lamp strapped to his mushroom head and a napkin around his neck. You ready, Cap? Let's go! Alright, so there are parts, there goes there. We free Princess Rosalina! That was worth it. And Bowser Jr., he didn't like that. So we'll make him stronger by making him all magic. I'll use medium legs in dark blue, a spare dark blue torso from Jordana, and of course, his 3D head and shell mold. But before we start painting, I have to take apart the minifigure entirely and erase every existing print with some nail polisher. And now we can start painting. As with the regular Bowser Jr., I painted his breastplate and his shell. The trickiest part is the head. I think you noticed by now, because a face either makes or breaks a character. But here it's especially difficult, because his ponytail has a color gradient. But nevertheless, we finish our 9th minifigure. Dang! His body is purple and not dark blue. I guess we'll also rescue Ghost Spider, because he has medium legs in purple. Sorry Spidey, not today. We now can use the purple legs, the shell, a purple torso, and paint it in the exact same way. Then we'll take the head and we fix Magic Bowser Jr. And he's stronger than ever. Yoshi! Come on, don't say you're strong if you're not. Now we need an even stronger enemy. So our final character is Dry Bowser. But the official version reminds me more of an iron golem on drugs. Much like my upgraded iron golems. So my friend Arda designed this amazing model. The only thing I have to do is to assemble it and then add my 3D print. But as you can see, he's missing a section of his tail. To fix this, we have to cut this part in half. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to attach the tail, and the base is finished. This means it's time to paint the head. I'll attach it to a small construction and then cover it entirely in white. Step 2 is to paint his horns. Finally, I have some bigger sections to paint, and not always those super tiny details. Step 3 is to add a color gradient to the hair. This makes the ponytail appear as if it's on fire. The final detail are the glowing eyes, and Dry Bowser is finished. And I'd say it's a major upgrade compared to this version. And to defeat him, Mario once again has to man his monster truck. But this time, he has to jump through a literal fire ring to hit Dry Bowser. Yeah! Mario hit Dry Bowser straight into his face. This means we have successfully completed all the levels. So make sure to subscribe. See ya!